made it into a ball game. They're down 20. One of the largest comebacks in the NBA Finals for the win.
Really?
It was cool.
Huh. I'll be darned.
But
what team would that have been?
that'd been the Indiana Pacers.
Okay.
So,
all right. Cool.
I don't watch the NBA till the finals anyway.
I did see that. I had a couple Indiana guys we know were Snapchatting about it last night. So
Was Clint wound up about it?
Clint wasn't. No, a couple other different.
Clint's been sicker than a dog.
Has he been?
He
I just
has.
talked to him 2 days ago.
Yeah, he's trying.
Yeah.
My sister-in-law, she's an Oklahoma City Thunder fan, big time. And I almost texted her, say, hey, how's the welfare? How's the family tonight? But I didn't. I let her, let that one sit.
I've heard Thunder games are really entertaining to go to. I've heard that. I've never been to an NBA game because I'm not a basketball person, so I'm just not. No, but I've heard they're like really cool.
Small venue. They kind of interact.
Doesn't
with
Wichita
fans.
have a Thunder thing?
They're the Wichita Wind Surge. That's their minor league baseball team.
Oh.
I don't know what team they farm for. I know that I don't think they do the Royals. Twins. Okay. Yeah. Leave it to Kirk. He knows. But yeah, Wichita Wind Surge is their minor league team, and then Oklahoma City Thunder. They were actually the Seattle Supersonics back probably 2008. I think is when they moved. Kevin Durant got drafted there. He was out of where was he out of? Texas.
Was he?
Yeah. But anyway,
Don't age yourself here, Heathman.
there's your background. I can talk sports all day long. But
Well, we've been rolling for
have you?
2 minutes.
Wow, impressive.
Yeah.
Let's go to farming. What do we want to know about farming right now?
Oh my gosh. Well, roles have reversed. It's good in Diller, and it's pretty bad here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got the king, we got Mr. Fertigation, and 2 river rats.
Yeah. Today we are protecting your guys' farm from a flood.
There you go.
It didn't work. It didn't work at all. So we are, when this drops, it'll be we'll be a little bit further progressed. But so it flooded here. Heathman and I we got nailed pretty good.
Yeah. It's
You guys are swimming.
swimming. Yes, it's a little bit deep right now.
Silt bars and trees and fields and everything else, and
Trash. The city of Strong City. Anything out of their area is out in the middle of that field to the north. I don't know what I'm gonna find. Found TVs, couches, beer can, trash bags full of beer cans, firewood. I found a front porch one time out there. So we call that the landfill field when it's flooded like this. You don't know.
porch.
Yeah, there's a front porch out there. It's like,
We had a front porch in Dad's field, but that was from a tornado.
Yeah.
Ripped it off his house and threw it out in the bean field east of his place.
I don't know what I'd rather have.
So, how much rain have you had in like the last 2 weeks?
So when it started raining, we had a 4-inch rain to start off with, and then we had several 2-inch rains, and I think we're up to 22 inches since like the 20th of May.
Wow, it's 2 weeks. 2.5 weeks. Yeah, we're 18 inches
So
here.
really though, I mean, yeah, that's a lot of rain. But coming in, I mean, it looks like your ground kind of can handle it.
Well, the way you came,
I mean, not
all of
but
that
you know what I
drains
mean.
to where we're going to go for lunch.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's where we farm.
We were in
The
good
high
shape.
ground right now.
Yeah, you came in on the
Sure,
high ground.
okay.
We were in good shape until that last little bout.
That's
Yeah.
my point though.
I really thought we were going to dodge a bullet here.
Right.
You know, I kept telling Josh in 2016 we were on the verge of a flood the entire growing season.
Yeah, don't take that the wrong way,
No.
but that's what I was kind of
No,
getting
I'm
at.
so offended.
But no, when you Snapchatted me yesterday, just from the highway, and you look on both sides, and it looked like you were like at Milford Lake or something, or the Ozarks, where you're like, there's wheat there, and alfalfa, and corn, and beans. It's like, oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
and there's the very tops of a tree row that's out there. And,
You can see the telephone poles over there, kind of.
Yeah.
So really, you've had enough rain in the last 2 weeks to get you through 2 summers.
Basically,
That's what I
yeah.
said. Bald man with a hairy back. It just ain't quite dispersed quite right.
That's right. But
I will not take offense to that.
no. It's well, unfortunately, that's how we get it so much is so much. It's I wish we had all of our rain even.
We've talked about this
every 10 days
on previous podcasts. We get 30 to 35 inches of rain a year. Well, just like right there,
we just got 22 of it the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, and then we may shut off. May not rain again the rest of the summer. Now, like we said before, I don't know if that'll happen. It seems like on a flood year, we never completely shut off. We have, like Josh was saying, 2 good crops on a flood year. There's always a good chance for things to kind of end up well. So,
and that's just it. You just got to have a good positive attitude about that, because it'll ruin you if you don't.
There's nothing really you can do about it.
No, there ain't.
No. So the anticipation is worse than the flood.
Yeah.
It is always worse.
Yeah.
Because we're talking, is it going to flood? Is it going to flood? How much? Where's it at? And we've got this it's like the Pony Express of information. It's what is it? What is it? It's here. What is it? It here. What is it? It here. How much rain did it pour you get? Because that's going to back it up here. The 2 main creeks feed into the Cottonwood here. How much did each one get? Because that's going to determine what backs up where and how much water can move out. Yeah. I mean, it is, and no 2 floods are the same.
The unknown is the hard part. Yeah. You have no idea what's going to happen. But now we know what things did. Mm-hmm. We can react to it. We can adapt to it and go from here, get a plan together and handle it however we need to.
Yeah. Adapt and overcome. That's the name of our game, isn't it?
If it floods and you can get out of your driveway, unlike Joe could, just take a 5-day vacation and come back and deal with it after that.
Unfortunately, the worst flooding is right at his house.
Yeah. I saw it. It was weird. I told Shelby, I've lived there since 13, and this is the first time I get up, take a step out on my front porch and look, and I just see water everywhere.
For perspective, we thought about doing this podcast yesterday. We just weren't sure if Joe could get here.
He couldn't get out.
No, I couldn't.
He couldn't get out until last night.
Yep. Right. Yep. So it's created more work, but heck, that's what we're built for. It'd be all right.
Yeah, that's exactly
what would we
need.
do with idle time?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Think about disaster.
Right. When's the next disaster going to hit? Or watch stupid ball games.
Yeah, that too. Hey.
Yeah, it keeps you entertained. We got the deer stuff on our side time that we can do.
Hey, I'm telling you.
But I've got a deer feeder in the back of my side by side that's clear full of
muddy corn.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Hey, listen, it all held up. Better than I didn't think you'd have a feeder or a blind left.
I didn't either. The way the water was running through there, it took drifts, like 5 or 6 walnut logs with ash trees mixed in the middle of it, packed in there so tight a 977 couldn't move it. River picked it up, took it away.
They're gone.
But the feeder stayed. So,
dude, floods are so weird.
Yeah,
floods. All natural disasters are very odd.
Yeah,
like tornadoes. I mean, I remember I talked to an old. Was one of my landlords, and he was telling me about a time a tornado came through and it picked up straw and stuck straw up and down an oak tree like darts. Did not break the straw. It's just like someone just drilled holes and stuck stems of wheat into the oak tree, but it did not break the straw. And
it's fascinating.
Whoa!
It is.
We had one once that took an old corn crib and it piled up the 2x4s just in a straight line, just like someone just set them on the ground in a straight line.
What?
That's weird.
Oh yeah,
our mulch finisher was sitting over here at the barn in the tree, so it picked up the barn and it set it upside down in the tree, and then it took the mulch finisher, which has the most rickety little hitch you ever seen. Like you just kick it and it just falls over. And it picked the whole machine up, rotated at 180 and set it down, and the hitch did not break. It literally rotated at 180. Dad and I pulled in, we go, I parked that south. He goes, I know. It's facing north.
Unexplained.
I know.
Wind does crazy things. Water, wind, all natural disasters, just unexplained.
Yeah. So, how's things in Diller?
Things are going pretty good. We're kind of almost just in a little bit of a lull. I mean, we're working on posting beans.
Yep.
Corn's done, but it's raining, kind of cloudy days, so that's kind of slow. Kind of getting up for wheat harvest a little bit. We're not irrigating. That's good. So yeah, we're just...
Are all the pivots off?
All the pivots are off. We've only made one circle. Just, early planting, we had to activate some chemicals and kind of get things established and up. But then ever since then, when we came hunting, that was when we, ever since then, we've had pretty good rain. Yeah. Kind of hand to mouth. Whenever we need a rain, we just kind of get it.
Yeah. Never over an inch, but
Yeah,
usually
just
close
kinda
to.
close. Yep.
Slow and steady. We had a couple of storms come through. That surprise last Saturday that dropped 60, 70, hundreds in some spots. But yeah, I tried to make one fertigation pass, but got stuck 4 times in the first 12 hours of trying to run it.
Oh, no.
Got it running good, ran for a full day. Surprise 60 hundreds, figured we don't need the fertilizer running off.
And it was a really narrow stretch that got rain.
Got right there and shut it down and fired it back up a day and a half later. Figured let's get this finished before the wind and the next round of rain, and it's stuck again. It's sitting. We'll figure it out after we dry off again here. So, but
Sorry, man.
Is what it is.
Wide dropping's all done side dressing.
Dude,
so I feel pretty good about that.
So got to go up and see Ethan's side dress bar. Holy smokes. Dude, what a unit. What a unit. That was, Heath and I and Bean have all been like, I really want one. I really want one of those things.
So in season, I don't think there's a better way to apply fertilizer than that thing.
It makes so much sense.
It does.
You got 2 streams coming on either side of the
And there's zero
plant.
maintenance.
Yeah.
There is zero maintenance to that thing.
Right.
Mine's old, so it's a wide mamma jamma going down the road, and when the corn gets big, you break off a lot of end rows. But
to clarify, we're talking about wide drop placement here.
Yeah, side dress.
With a side dress bar.
Side dress bar, yep.
When I did it about
And a
V3,
12,000 gallon tank.
Yep.
2,400.
2,400.
So it looks like it's huge.
Things don't get exaggerated around here.
Yeah, and then saddle tanks, and it's how many? You can do a lot of acres.
I can. I do about 80. So I
Okay.
if I go to a full pivot loaded, then I just have to fill up once.
Okay,
guys, real quick, we've got a blog and a newsletter. A lot of people don't know that.
Yes, and a bunch of great information, trying to be timely, how that fits throughout that year of agriculture, that we know there's different thoughts going through our heads during different seasons.
We have different people write it. We've got people from all over the United States, different walks of life, that have really cool perspectives that brings so much value as a whole. And you guys can find these. It's at singularagronomics.com under, I believe it's the media portion. Or blogs. There's a whole blog. There's a blogs link.
Yes.
There's a blogs link. Check out the link in the description. I'm serious. That's probably, I enjoy reading those so much just because you hear from so many cool people that are really, we have someone new write it every month.
Well, yeah, and it's a quick read.
It is.
It's a quick read. Head to the website.
Yeah. Check it out.
So, because I don't like going to the same spot to fill up, because you just mutilate the corn in that spot. So if I kind of got it down where I fill up in strategic spots and drag out my hose, and then I'll move the truck so I can pull out on the road and turn around, and so I can still get back in the roads without just making a mess.
Okay.
But anyway, no, it works good for us.
Yeah, it's awesome.
We've side dressed for a long time. We used to be colder side dress is what we did. But I guess our opinion was, why would you want it in the middle of the row when you can put it?
Yeah, you can put it right there where it needs it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And there's zero maintenance. You ain't got to grease, So, yeah, anyway. No, it works good.
Only thing with that, you just need a little bit of moisture to work it down.
You
in.
do.
I mean, you want to rain or we have irrigation.
Yep.
If you got to water it in, you got to water it in. But
Well, that's with our top dress now. It's all dry.
Right.
You need to rain anyway. And
Yeah.
then
Oh, it's wet.
Well, and liquid's the same way.
Top dress is really
any
wet.
fertility takes water to move it.
Yeah.
It just does.
Sure. Well, and we've talked before. It's interesting watching how fast a crop can burn up just because it's trying to get nutrients up, and water is the only way it can get it there. And so if you're in rapid growth stage and you've been wet and you turn off dry,
Yeah.
your corn can go backwards real fast
Because it never had a root.
it didn't have that's right, because then it's trying to drive roots to find water, but it needs a ton of it to move nutrients because it's growing so freaking fast.
That's right.
Anyway, yeah, no, so
Right now, to cap that off, we look pretty good in our
things
area.
look very good. A lot of variability though.
There is.
Because we had good weather windows, we've had bad weather windows, and there's
hot,
just
cold.
you got
Timing is a big thing.
mean, you've got corn that's 3 inches tall around home, and then you've got corn that's V7, V8.
Yeah, we've got some corn that's
pretty much closed
up.
to canopy.
We got corn that's closed
so
up.
it's. But
Are you guys done with planting all the way around? Beans, corn, you name it.
Oh, there's a very few bit of people running around us, but yeah, for the most part, our area is pretty much all
Still
in.
got my planter hooked up though.
Yeah.
Debating
We're
on
gonna
these
double crop,
on
baby.
my wheat pivot
It's
if we're gonna
be awesome.
thinking about it.
So
I told my dad the other day maybe we could even just do half the farm.
Yeah,
You know, just
yeah,
I don't know.
absolutely. So protect our farms. We're back.
We're back.
After 14 minutes of BS session, we're back. I did not realize, I thought it'd get a good response, but it got this overwhelming response of relatability. And it seems to be, I thought it would be mostly relatable to guys our age, around that 30, late 20s to mid 30s range, families, kids, etc. And I've gotten anywhere from high school students to, the older guys. I just call them the older guys, whatever range that age is up to, because they're like, it was interesting. The older guys said, I'm glad you guys are talking about it because no one talked about, tough things when I was your age. He's like, and I wish we would have talked. And then you have the young guys that are like, you guys are talking about things I'm thinking about, but I've not heard anyone talk about it, so I wasn't going to. And so you've got a lot of conversation that's being had because people feel like it's okay to have that conversation now. Like it's the whole, that guy saying what I'm thinking aspect.
Yep.
And anyway, and I was asked, are you guys going to do more Protect Our Farms? Because it was, in the last series, it was what's the thing that's actually going to, keep a legacy moving, to the next generation. Because, we all work we're all, we're chasing girls in high school and college, and then we get married, and then we're still, going, hardcore, and then we have kids, and so we try to slow it down a little bit, be there for bedtime. And we got T-ball.
Yeah.
We got T-ball on us. And so we're trying to now balance more family life in instead of, just hardcore go, 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 go.
And there's a lot that goes into that. And there's a lot of moving parts to preserving the legacy. And yeah, there's just a lot to shoulder.
There is a lot. And then trying to transition to where you're being respectful of the generation that was before you, and then, now we've got employees or people that now we're, I'd say, in charge of or directing, or, and those decisions that we make impact the future of their lives. And so it's, it's this time. It's an awkward time because you've got so many wide-ranging variables at play.
It is. I kind of explained this to Ethan in a conversation we had. We were just talking crops, so we were about rapid uptake. Because I feel like late 20s, early 30s, when we start having young families, is our rapid uptake time as humans and business. Like it seems like there's so many things coming into the mind, into the business. It's like it's telling Ethan, like, I feel like I'm spending more than I can even make right now because I'm trying to set up an infrastructure for my legacy and my family. And so there's a lot that goes into that. And I feel like, but having young kids, for me, that was what started to bring everything full circle. I went from a young man who really all I cared about was hunting, fishing, and chasing women, and then you have kids and you're
now
like,
we're hunting, fishing, and chasing one woman.
Yep. And then it's like, and then you have them kids, and now you're like, okay, I have purpose.
Yeah.
I have purpose. Like now my job needs to
A whole different
not one
shift.
not one person, but 3 or 4 or 5 or however many kids you're going to begin to have, and it really becomes a lot more serious. If that there's a hard shift there, it really is. It's not just a job no more. It's not just a paycheck now. It's
you see the things you didn't do right more so because you feel like it has more effect on your long-term legacy.
Yeah.
You know, like I struggle with some planter issues this spring. And you know, a lot of them were self-induced. I literally hit the wrong button, and I had a load cell bad in 2 rows, and it was a down pressure sensor. It's just giving me the feedback, and I was tired of it looking goofy on my monitor, and so I went in and I zeroed it out. And on case planner, it's been retrofitted with precision stuff. You can zero it out, and it takes the median of the row on either side of it.
Oh, sure.
And so if you know you're running 80 and 90, it'll tell this row to just run 85. And that is a cool feature. Instead of being broke down, you can keep going.
Yep.
I zeroed out my delta force sensor, my hydraulic force, and I was like, which they're connected. Like it's down. It's two things that are have to do with my down pressure, and so I did it on 2 rows, man, and I planted 60 acres before I realized, and I just looked back, and 2 row units were not doing that, that gentle, and it was on strip till, that gentle, up, down. It was it was and then stuck, and it would not move, and stuck, would not go up and down, and I'm like, oh no. And dude, I got out on one field, the strip. Anytime I got out of the strip, there was seed on top of the ground.
Sure.
The strip was soft enough to where it was still dropping seed in the strip.
Yeah.
But oh my gosh, man! Then my end rows, anywhere I got just off the center of the strip, and so I went back and I had my map and I punched in and I turned on those 2 rows. And this was when the other corn was out of the ground. I didn't know, you know, and I didn't know exactly where it screwed up. And anyway, and so I went back and I filled those in. And so now I've got, in the grand scheme of things, is it, out of say 1,000 acres of corn, is it 4 acres total that screwed up?
Right.
Probably not even.
But if you're like me, when that stuff happens, when you get out of the cab and you see that, your heart just sinks.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Because it wasn't on land I owned. It was on land I sharecrop. And it was with one of my dearest, closest landlords that I work, which, if it was with another one I work with, it probably wouldn't have gone so well. But anyway, he used to farm. He gets it. He's like, stuff happens. And I mean, filled it in. And it's going to be interesting to see, because now you've got a V7 plant, V8, and then you've got, a V4 plant, 2 rows. And I'm curious to see what it looks like. It'll be a cool test. I wish it wasn't a test. Yeah, I mean,
it'll be fun.
Will I end up seeing it in a yield monitor? Probably not that much, but overall, we'll drive by it later. Field looks freaking great. Now that it's filled in, now that the canopy's filled in.
Those mistakes always happen on the busiest of roads too. It's always the highway.
Oh, yeah.
It's always the highway.
I think I need to remember this every year. It was like when we get started planning, because there's always bugs like that to work out. It's like go down one of the minimum maintenance roads, go to the back corner, and then start.
That's where I
started this year. That's not where I've always started, but I'm starting to get a little wiser with maybe a few more years.
I don't. Usually we go up to the PWF and start, because it's right there by home. We're close.
It's close to home. If something's wrong, I got my tools.
Where I started this year was not handy. Where I started this year was not handy, but it was 25-acre little creek bottom patch, and work out the bugs. And I did actually make a few mistakes down there, but I've been down there like twice. So
it's crazy how it's funny, man. We put that machine away, and when we put it away, we can tell you every single thing about that machine that anyone never wants to know. Mm-hmm. Everything. We put it away, we pull it back out, and it's like I've never seen this thing before.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot.
I remember you.
I forgot to fix that. Yeah, I remember you. That's so true.
Nope.
But anyway, and so it was, and of course it honestly it blew up on TikTok, the Protect Our Farms, and the haircut lines came out, and it was, I'm not kidding, man. It brought some serious comic relief. Like, you can't read the comments.
It did.
You got to learn not to read the comments. Joe Rogan says that. Never met him. I hope to meet him someday. But that was the number one. He says, dude, to get to that next level, you have to quit reading the comments.
Before we even did to that, Jake said, don't even read them. So this winter, I'm hauling white corn into Jansen. I think one time I waited in line for 3 hours. What the heck did I do?
Yeah.
I was...
He was boiling bad.
I just,
motherfreaker, I'm gonna...
Well, that's the problem.
Get a haircut, dude.
That's right.
Is you read through 10 positive, encouraging comments, and you find one that tells you to go get a haircut, and your day is ruined.
Boy, someone get that guy a pair of scissors for Christmas. And I mean, it just...
Kirk's over there smiling.
Kirk's laughing.
You take the good comments with the bad, because like you were starting off when you were explaining, the conversation's very important. There's going to be multiple opinions of it. There's going to be some ridiculous comments too, but there's going to be both sides of the fence. And the conversation's important, because then those feelings and those opinions get shared. And then things can be resolved before they become giant talking points. And a podcast about legacy.
Yeah. That's the conversation. Those are some touchy things.
Yep.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. And it's cool to be able to have the, those talks. And man, there's some people you won't ever get through.
Well, and some of them comments, listen to these three idiots talk about, entitlement in their dad's shop. I'm like, really, guys?
Right.
Really?
Yeah. You'll get those guys, you get, you have Delta Force on your planner. Whoa, lucky to be you. I'm like,
wonder when your dad paid for that.
Yeah, the silver spooners. Look at this round table of silver spooners. That was my favorite.
The perception and the reality of farming. Jake and I talked about this.
This is way far apart.
Totally
far apart.
Two totally different things.
Yeah.
They have no idea what you're dealing with.
Yes. Yeah.
As far as mentally and all the pressure, and look at you guys, just case in point right now, we're sitting here. There's water flowing down the creek and some corn's underwater. You did everything right. You sat all winter to figure out what seed and fertility program and what you're going to do. And cool. Yes, it's flooded out.
Yeah, we had the absolute best corn I've ever seen in my entire life. And everything came up perfectly. Everything was looking so good. And we're it's not the end of the world. There's still going to be good acres out there, but it's just like something had to happen. It's just, you never can have a perfect crop.
Well,
get a Snapchat from Heathman. Here's my contest corn. If anybody was caring, and it's this massive lake.
You can't see the corn.
There's no corn in sight.
Yeah, but like you
the
said,
river's just.
We were talking, or I was thinking last night. I was just sitting there on the front porch. It was a nice evening, and the kids and we transplanted a rose bush that was my grandma's from the 1880s, and I'm sitting there thinking, this is a neat experience, but when we get busy, we're gonna go from one. We got to clean up driftwood. We got to clean up all the ruts and ditches that have been out there. We work the ground ahead of the replant, and then as soon as we get done replanting, I still haven't got all my beans in the ground, so I've got to plant my first crop beans, then replant, and then we start wheat harvest.
Right.
Got to start double cropping. Well, then the
post
seed
on
side,
beans.
Well, post on beans, and the seed side, all of my stuff has to be returned and done for by July 15th. So the next 45 days, and then I got T-ball. We got summer rec. I'm like, how in the heck am I going to juggle all this? But like we said earlier, just take a step back and take a breath. And it'll all work. Somehow, some way, it always does.
Just put the right foot in front of the left, and the left in front of the right, and you just keep day by day.
Get up.
Yep.
If there's
just get up.
Anything the last 5 years has taught me about anything we've dealt with, it's just one day at a time. And you just take a big deep breath, and it's gonna figure itself out somehow. Last year, things were going good. We had just finished wheat on our farm, and went and set some fertigation pumps to fertigate the last few farms, and laying in bed that morning about 6 o'clock, and this thing comes rolling through like a freight train. We got less than 10 hundredths of rain with an 80-mile-an-hour wind.
Oh, no.
Talk about somewhere where you live in a desert. You don't get any rain and have 80. And so I go, and we had a couple farms. I had just set the fert pumps, like I just said, to fertigate that, and 75% green snap on shoulder high corn.
Oh,
no.
Yeah.
Irrigated corn that's just humping and a jumping and just going to town. I'm gonna spoon feed it one last time and just, well, that's it, boys. I guess we're done here this year. You know, I mean, that's just.
It's a big timing game. Well,
It
the
is.
two they're a mile apart from each other. The one he's talking about, and then probably some of our most fertile farms
Yeah,
we have,
real
really,
good dirt.
and planted them the same day. We can see each other up on the hill, put same day, same hybrid, same everything, same windstorm. Just it's like, well, what do you do? But like you were touching on at the beginning of that with your hydraulic downforce, and it's like, well, it's in the grand scheme of things, the whole farm, but that's our job, is to take care of every single acre. And they add up, because if you take that mentality and, oh, there's a skip there, I'll go there, and pretty soon, that's not a good way to go about
no.
doing a good job.
Because you
It's
want
our
to have a
job
good presentation.
right.
This is your work.
So every acre does matter. And
And
so
we're
when,
very proud of our work.
yeah, and so when you have 10 acres that goes under in the grand scheme, yeah, you're going to have good crops around, but that 10 acres is that 10 acres, and
Yeah.
you still put, you know,
You never lose.
$500, $600,
worst
$700 an acre into that, expecting a return out of it, and you care for that crop, especially your contest field. Man, you care for that crop more than anyone else.
Yeah.
You know, so it's
in thing, you always lose the best crops, because the best crops grow for us in the bottom.
Yep.
Yeah,
Right.
You know, that's one thing going into this. When I knew we were getting that rain, I'm like, okay, this spot's going to flood. This spot's going to flood. This one's toast. I mean, you kind of come to expect things like that, and you're like, nah, what am I going to do about it?
Roll the dice.
Yeah, roll the dice.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Yep.
It's part of farming on good dirt. Just part of it.
So to tile that in, you know, on top of, you know, because we all deal with stresses in life that are even different than farming. So then you got all that other stress, and then a flood happens or a windstorm happens, and it's just a cherry on top,
Yeah,
you know.
it is, and it's never. The anticipation is always worse than the flood.
Yep.
Because you don't. We've flooded before.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, dude, Heathman and I, this is nothing new for us.
Yeah, and we've had green snap before.
Yeah,
we
it
live
can
in
happen.
Nebraska.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it-
wind blows all the time.
Yeah, you guys got fans when you're short on wind.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Turn them babies on.
Turn
No,
the turbines
I'm kidding.
on.
They blow all the hot air out of Kansas right up to us.
But it's, you know, it's one of those. We've been here before, and so okay. How bad's this one? Okay, that just tells us what level of we've already been here before are we back at.
that's right.
You know,
Past experiences.
yeah.
We know what we've done
Do
in the
we
past.
farm around the cottonwood trees that are now laying in the bean fields? There's because like, or do we leave it? Do we leave it and farm around it? Is it going to be dry enough, our window to go? Or do we have time where the ground dries out? We move that, you know, cottonwood tree out of the field before we go. Legit, because you may only have a 2-day window where you can get in that field and plant it and spray it. And I mean, cleanup of a 100-foot cottonwood tree is a long process.
Yep. The calendar's different. I mean, I know you got to
The calendar's a huge
you gotta
aspect.
look, you can't look at it and make a lot of decisions, but at the same time, you need to look at it. If it was May 2nd instead of June 2nd, you've got a lot more window to get things cleaned
We're
up.
past corn replant date for us.
We are.
A lot of people have asked me that.
I've had a guy call yesterday. They said, "Are you going to replant any corn?" I'm like, I did it once on June 1st. I could get in there and run, but by the time it dries up, you're looking at the 15th of June. I'm not even thinking about it. You know, I'm just going to roll with it.
Yeah, beans. We're very much in the window to replant.
Yeah. What do you say? The 25th of May, kind of for replant. I mean, we got double crops that'll go.
But 25th
into
of June.
I
planted first crop beans June 17th. It still made mid 40s.
Yeah.
And that was the railroad tore my crossing out because they're rebuilding the tracks. I couldn't get in my field for 2 weeks.
On dry land beans, it's just a deal on when the rains come.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
100%. And if we have an early frost here in where we're at in Kansas, we've had more early freezes. in the last 5 years. I think 3 out of the last 5 we've had a freeze before beans are ready for double crop, and we just cut green beans for double crops, and it's kind of frustrating. But now I'm thinking, okay, I've got 4 9s left in the truck. Am I gonna get an early freeze like we've been getting? How's this gonna tail off? So there's more down the road than just today that we got to consider too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's a nice part about when you talk legacy of having Ethan having his dad and you having your dad and you having your dad around, and I have Ron, and just you kind of look at how they handle natural disasters, stuff like that, and they're a lot more. I've seen this. It's gonna be okay. The young bucks like, oh, the sky is falling. The sky is falling. For some guys around you guys here farming, this might be the first flood they've experienced.
Oh yeah.
With actual dollars at stake, not just helping somebody. And so this might be the worst farm year they've ever had.
Right.
Well, and that's why it's so important to circle the wagons. I love that term, circle the wagons, and it's a great opportunity. You find out who your friends are. You find out who your problem solvers are around you. You find out who the guys that just gripe, are and don't actually do anything to help.
Some guys just shut down completely.
They do.
I mean, they just don't talk. They don't call anybody. They don't
know how to cope.
They shut down.
They have no idea how to cope.
And that's not healthy.
No, it's not. June is. Who said that?
I did.
You did.
Men's Mental Awareness Month, right?
Yeah.
The whole month of June.
Yeah. I'd rather celebrate that about the month of June than the proclaimed.
Well, as guys, we need to be more willing to just share about, how you doing, Joe, Jake, Josh, just about, just what's really bothering you.
Yeah.
And it's okay to let it out.
It is.
It's okay, whether it be even goes beyond farming, whether it be a relationship or a marriage or anything.
But make no shake about it, they're hard conversations to have because as men, especially for your family, you feel like you have an image to uphold. And even an image, maybe even in front of your friends sometimes.
Oh yes,
with that too. Yeah, even more so on that side. Yep. Usually is I gotta be a certain person. Everybody knows me. I can't be vulnerable or stuff like that. And yes, you can because you need to be.
Being vulnerable is it's very difficult because there are. If you are vulnerable, you will get stabbed in the back.
Yeah, you will.
You will.
Yeah.
And so just accept it. It's going to happen. It's going to hurt. But, there are people that you will never meet or get to have a really solid friendship with if you don't become vulnerable.
That's exactly, you stole the words out of my mouth, because when you are vulnerable, the close relationships that you do have only get stronger.
Yeah. I mean, we could sit here and talk about farming and the weather and whatever and fill up a podcast.
Right.
But that's, what did we gain from that?
For me in my life, the last 5 years, you do find out who your friends are. But, just through the networking groups I've been involved in, whether it be the Mac group or even meeting you guys through friends, or we got a John Deere Landmark group, and those are some really close buddies now. It's just incredible to me, all the fascinating and great people that I've met in ag, and just, that you can share meaningful friendships with, because that to me is one of God's greatest gifts, is meaningful friendships. It's a very important thing to me.
Well, it would be a very lonely occupation in life if you didn't have friends.
And the older
it already is spending hours upon hours in the tractor with your thoughts, and you can only listen to so many podcasts and music before it. You just call somebody, call Ethan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say through this singular networking, man, I've got more friends out of that. Growing up, I met a lot of different people, but as far as agriculture related, I'll go through my Snapchat list and it's like, oh, there's Mason out of Oakley. I got Ethan up Nebraska, Jake, Nebraska, Gibbs in Iowa. I got guys all over the place. Colton in Oklahoma.
Yep.
You got Woodside.
It's
a
lot of
fun. The
fun.
Nebraska boys. You got
a lot of fun.
Travis. You got, the Kentucky, Tennessee
David
guys.
Baird.
David Baird.
I don't know if he's on Snapchat or not.
He's not.
You pull up my phone radar now, and it's got little pins dropped on it.
My
all over the
radar
place.
looks like it
I want to know
got
what
shot with a
everybody-
machine gun.
Everybody's weather's doing,
I know.
because it's like when they had that big tornado come through.
Yeah.
as soon as it popped
Just
up, like, I
east of
just,
Mason.
it just text Mason like, hey, everybody all right?
Yeah.
And stuff like, yeah, we're good. Just next town over, And then Clint got it the same night.
Yes.
Same night, same
Yeah.
stuff going on. It's just, it's nice to have people spread out all over different areas of farming, different expertise, just different stuff to talk about. And half the time when they're on the phone with these guys, we're not talking farming at all. It's everything but
farming.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, iron sharpens iron, boys.
It does.
And the older that I get, the more that I'm willing to just, you know what, I'll shut the tractor off and let's go hang out with Jake and Chelsea, or let's go spend time with
You've
these
been
guys.
trying to get me to shut down for months for 4th of July weekend to go to Lake of the... I'm like, dude, we might be in a combine. He goes, shut it off. And I'm like, I don't know if I can do that.
I got a funny add to that. Guess who sent out a text last night asking if we can move the Ozarks trip because we might be cutting weed.
No way.
Guess who's feeling the pressure now about weed
just a little
harvest?
bit, eh? I am glad to hear that.
Guilty.
Guilty as charged. But Alex out in Montezuma, I have been probably honed in on his radar more than anyone else because they've been fighting that dry. It's so dry. And they are getting these. I mean, man, he's like, we got 20 last night.
Morale builders is
Dude,
what
I'm
that is.
telling you, those boys can do more with 20 Holy crap.
Where would that be?
Western, kind of little far west Kansas,
Yep.
little south, not southern, not down by Liberal, but I'd say close to mid-western Kansas.
Yeah, we do need Bean here to get a map. Tell us where Midwestern Kansas is.
Yeah.
Not north, not south, not east or west, but not central.
But not
either.
middle, it's more west.
I know you guys just experienced
gonna kill
a
us.
bad flood, but man, droughts suck.
Yeah.
Droughts are rough.
Droughts are rough.
Droughts are rough. How do you have a way of dealing with drought?
Well, the past
That you have?
we're going on year 5. I mean, so far we're doing okay yet, but it just the last few years it's like you almost just get numb to it. Like, well, okay, this is just the same as last year,
Our up where we're from, our coping mechanism with drought is we have the pleasure of working on pivots all day long.
Right.
So
That's the problem is you can make it rain.
on some of the
on
acres.
some.
Yep.
So then you feel like you can fix the problem to a degree.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so it's
There
that
ain't-
much more stress.
There ain't no substitute for rain, no, boys. Oh,
Nope.
man, just
Nope.
I mean, I've raised some really good irrigated crops. Don't get me wrong, in some drought years.
Yeah, because you're getting the sunshine.
But,
so
you
you
know,
can give
boy,
the
you-
water and you're getting the sunshine. So you get,
But you earn it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you do.
Yeah. How many times that pivot get stuck the other day?
4 times. 4 times. Small tires on center pivot irrigation is a very bad idea.
Yeah.
Very bad idea. They give you the option. The smaller tires are definitely cheaper. They're not worth it. It's not worth the pennies saved because they just you get tracks getting deep. Them little tires just they sink a little bit, and all of a sudden the frame, the axle's sitting in mud.
Yeah.
So what do you do there to get that out?
Drive in, run corn down with a sprayer, and tug on it, and get it out of there.
Jerk it out. Then
Yeah.
throw rocks in the hole.
Yep.
Yeah, cinder blocks, concrete cinder blocks usually. Which
If you want to remember so you don't hook those with the strip till machine.
because you will.
Oh.
You'll
I've done
find
that.
them. Yep.
It'll either the spring trip will just go and we snagged that one, or you'll break a shear bolt.
Yep.
Just-
Oh, no.
you just
Yep.
You know what's? I know there's somebody listening to this podcast talking about our flood, losing this and that and whatever, and it never fails in the comments. I really seldomly read them anymore. Actually, most times guys screenshot it and text it to me with an LOL, and that's how I see them anymore. But there's guys gonna be like, well, if you didn't do any tillage, if you did cover crops, if you did this, if you did that, if you didn't farm the bottoms, you can put it back to
I
this.
tell you what, with all this, I guarantee you cover crops would not have saved my soil the way South Fork
And
cuts.
we're pro cover crop.
I love
we
cover
have
crops.
cover crops.
No till and cover
It
crops.
didn't matter when you move 100-foot tree that was anchored to where you can't find it anymore for miles. There's nothing we can do.
Well, like I was telling you earlier, that pile that I piled up with a 977 track loader weighing 50,000 pounds. I couldn't budge it.
Yeah.
And the water picked it up like it was nothing.
That's fascinating.
We can't, Dad and I both.
Where we crossed the river in your pickup.
Yeah, right there.
Right there.
Dad and I both. I said, that flood ain't going to move that pile, is it? He goes, oh, no, it won't ever move that pile. It's up against trees. And we went over there and I called him. I said, Dad, it's gone. It's gone? He's like, yeah, it's gone. The bank, everything's gone. Man. I guarantee you cover crop wasn't going to save that.
Yeah.
You know.
No.
So before we get all the hate comments.
Yeah, I love cover crops.
Yeah.
I have cover crops everywhere, a lot of fields. But when you scour and you have that much violent water going through low areas that we farm, there's nothing that'll save it.
The highs wash, the high ground washes, you get ravines. It doesn't matter the direction you plant. When it does to a degree.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. But when you get to this severe, it does not matter what you do. You're going to have messes.
I wish I knew the elevation change from the head of South Fork to the Cottonwood River, because if for anybody wondering about it,
we can look.
Yeah, it's just so violent. It's like a big draw. It just comes up, it cuts, it's violent, it's destructive.
22 inches wasn't, that's just a flood.
I
mean, I'll say this about tillage and all the things, I'm not old, but I've got some years, a little bit more under my belt. I've seen everything work and I've seen about everything fail. And I think sometimes there's a need for no-till. I think sometimes cover crops is great. I think, I ripped an 80 this year. That corn looks fantastic. I think there's a place for just about everything. I don't think there's a one size fits all, really. I don't, that's just my humble opinion.
Being a good farmer is knowing what your ground needs and what it can handle. You've got to be willing to experiment on cover crops. You've got to be willing to accept the fact that you need to till some ground once in a while. Yeah. Sometimes you've got ditches. Go work the ditches shut. Leave the rest of the field no-till. It's just being a proper and a good steward and knowing how you need to be farming your land.
I get super interested because when I came into agriculture, I was kind of a blank slate and I had nothing. So I'm really into learning and digging into that, and it's fun. Like you take the full, regen's all the talk right now. Regen, and you got your organic, and it's fun to look into every system because there's something you can take from all of them.
That's right.
Oh, absolutely.
There's something there's things that work on.
They're all tools to be put in your toolbox.
And they all work. I mean, we implement some of the stuff on all of our own farms that come from, and it's...
We just put it in different places.
That's right.
Put it with planter, put the siders bar, put it with pivots, put it with a wide drop. I put it with a strip till. I mean, it's, it's fun. It's really, farmers have got to stop putting themselves in categories. It is, I am a tillage guy. I am a cover cropper.
Yeah.
I am a strip tiller. I am a no tiller. I mean, it's like there's no, I am a this and this and this. And I really think we're losing potential in a lot of ground because we treat everything the same.
I would agree with that.
But like you said, there was 180, man. That thing was tight. You ripped it. It's the best field of corn.
We used to flood irrigate it.
Yeah.
And I really think that
we are too right now.
Yeah.
Got that.
You're not that cool, man. So are we.
But I really think that caused a lot of compaction over a lot of years.
Water's heavy.
Waterway.
And it's a beautiful
heavy.
80. Jake knows the farm. It's just it's flat and rolling, so water drains off. It's a great farm, but it always just felt like to me the early growth of that corn would just always be slow just because it was so compacted. So I'm like, well, I'm just going to try ripping it. And man, that corn
alleviated everything, didn't it?
It looks really good.
It's guys put themselves in a box and they're limited to what they know. But, I was talking to Josh, we thought it'd be a good topic for the Protect Our Farms is our ancestors used to plow. I grew up chiseling everything. I grew up with no-till. But if you abandon any one of those farming practices, how's the next generation going to know what your options are to fix a problem that arises on your operation? Now I've mulch finished. I've worked a lot of ground in my years. I kind of know what I can and can't do and what I can't get away with.
Exactly.
But if you abandon that, the next generation is not going to have any clue on how to fix a problem on their operation.
But and it doesn't mean that I'm going to go rip 1,000 acres
for sure.
But I ripped one farm that I thought needed it, or you might chisel just
because you do one doesn't mean you have to do everything.
That's right.
Yeah, and
that's what the value of having information now.
Yeah,
because
and the network,
that was definitely a mindset of he could have been ripped it, said, well, that worked good. do it all,
Yeah.
whether he
Right.
needed to or not. Might work in other places too. I ripped a quarter a couple years ago, and
The pivot.
it actually helped the weed pressure because it was so tight. We got oxygen back in there, and it helped with weed pressure.
Yeah.
You could see a visible difference from the year I ripped it, full of him bit, everything dragging across it. Once oxygen and that soil started loosening up, it helped the weed pressure.
Yeah. So one inch of rain on an acre, okay, is 113 tons of water.
Yeah.
So
It's 27,154 gallon of water is what 1 acre inch is.
Is it?
Yeah.
I can only imagine how much weight is sitting on my field between towns right now.
Well,
I'm about to tell you.
I don't know if I've ever told you that, guys, this, but when I strip till in the fall time, our pivot corners always pull easier than the circle.
Oh, yes. There you go.
You'll get to the pivot corner and it's like you just tapped it up another gear, or the tractor doesn't pull as hard,
I'll be
but the
darned.
pivot circle pulls harder
I'll be darned.
Right.
than the.
You want to know how much 4 foot of water on a field weighs on 1 acre?
I'm very interested.
5,424 tons.
Oh, wow.
Oh, goodness sakes.
Tons?
Tons.
Holy cow.
Take that times 2,000.
Wow.
10,848,000 pounds.
A little weight out there.
Holy crap.
Oh, boy. I'm going to have to rip the heck out of that ground.
You know, I think.
You might have to break that deep plow back out.
Yeah, pull that out. Well, but man, I'm telling you, we've got to. This is such a valuable time. Is when we are in times of crisis.
Mm-hmm.
Is to lean on, the older guys. My dad. I got Wilson down the road. I mean, these guys that have literally seen it all, and they've seen worse than we have.
Oh, yeah.
They've seen. There's still guys that have seen the 51 flood.
I lean on them a lot.
That's the flood of all floods that
Yeah.
we've ever
We
had.
based everything off of the 51
Off the
flood.
51 flood.
Yeah. So,
It was. We don't have time to talk about the 51 flood.
no, we can go for hours.
I'll get Heathman wound up. We're gonna do a part 2. I'm gonna get Heathman a little wound up about the 51 because it is fascinating to hear about.
Yeah.
Dude, it was a monster. Like this, what we just had was
this
a
is
dew,
nothing.
a
Yeah,
heavy
this was-
dew.
this was
to
nothing.
51.
There's stages. You've got this flood, you've got the 93 flood,
The
and
98.
98, and
Yep.
then because 93 was worse up around Kansas City in your guys'
Well,
area.
they talk about 93 back home.
And
Yeah.
then 51, we got the fall of 85 flood that we compare to on South Fork. Because 51 is the top flood everywhere basically. And then 85 was the next worst one on South Fork. But then you got the Cottonwood River. It's just weird how different regions here locally.
Everyone's different because it depends who got what when and how fast.
Every flood is different.
Yep.
I've never seen 2 floods the same.
We've never seen the Cottonwood this high and Middle Creek this not.
No, Diamond Creek.
Middle
and
Creek got
Creek.
out a little bit.
Yeah.
And Diamond Creek got out a little. But the flood, the only reason it flooded because the river got so high, it was all the creeks were flowing backwards.
Backing up. Yep.
They were flowing backwards.
It's quite
We're
the
going down
sight.
the road and Bean's like, that's going down. I'm like, no, bud, that's going backwards. He goes, oh we're dead.
Yeah.
And anyway, but man, leaning on those guys that have seen all of it, like, dude, how did you fix this? What did you do? How did you prevent? Because you'll see, like, if you pay attention in regions, there are things that generations have done to offset problems. They've built a terrace, a levee, a ditch. They've planted something to grass. As my dad says, if it's in grass right now, it probably needs
There's
to
a
stay
reason.
in grass
Yep.
because someone tried it and it flat didn't work.
Yeah.
And
that's what we're gaining now, some knowledge that those guys have.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully we can continue on what they know and then what we've seen and what we know to the next generation.
yeah,
So,
Yep. Knowledge and a little hope.
yep.
Yeah.
They've seen it. It's like,
Optimism.
oh,
little hope goes a long
it's gonna
way.
be okay. Yeah. It's like, well, like 23, we not to get too long because I know we're running out of time, but 23 was probably one of the worst droughts we've had. Just as far as back, I mean, Ron said that's some of the worst crops he's ever picked.
I remember 2017 too.
2012 was bad.
12 was
too.
bad,
12
but
was
17 was the
nationally.
year
12
in Diller where it rained all around Diller and not where we were.
Yeah, 17
18 was bad for us.
18
12 was terrible.
18, we had a bad corn crop. We had good wheat and we had good beans because it
Yep.
flooded. I was chopping silage and we had a 2-inch rain when they were finishing up the cornfield. And it's just like, oh, great.
Yeah.
And we had great beans.
Yep.
So,
Okay. So we'll pick into 1951 flood here in part 2 just a little bit. But anyway, we're going to bring part 3.
This is part 3
because the first, if you haven't listened to the first 2 Protect Our Farms, go back in the podcast series a couple of months, and it was Protect Our Farms 1 and 2. And anyway, if you want to see pre-haircut, and so, and I'm sorry, man. And so so we'll do. We're gonna do a part 2, and then we're gonna go look at some flood damage.
Yep.
Probably. So appreciate you, boys.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Thank you.
See you guys.
See ya.
Guys, thanks for watching the content so far. If you would like to see more, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We've got all the full-length podcasts, other video information, tutorials on there. Also on all the major podcast platforms and social media sites, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, etc. So if you like this, go ahead and check more out on all those platforms.